I'm just testing out the underfloor heating in our ensuite bathroom. This week we have finished all the grout and the tile on the floor, and the underfloor heating is working really, really well. And it feels so good on your feet when you have your socks on and when you get out of the shower. There's something really luxurious and special about having underfloor heating, I have to admit. And although we are being very authentic to the property and our restoration, we want to put a few little mod cons in, and underfloor heating is one of them. So we're excited about that. And this week we have really finished a lot of floors. We've done our ensuite floor, we've done our dressing room floor, and the rooms are really starting to come together. So Stephen has been working on our grouting in the bathroom here, and these little hexagon shapes have been a little bit tricky to grout. They're not quite so straightforward. So you can see here he put on the first coat, or the first application of grout, and you can see that just because all the different angles go in different directions, there's little kind of gaps and almost bubbles in between some of them. So he has decided to put on a second coat, and you can see here the difference, where just by putting on a second coat of the grout, it's just really filled those gaps well, compared to here where some of the grout kind of didn't go into the gaps as well. So he is finishing today on putting that kind of second coat onto the whole floor, and I just love how the contrast with the black and the white, the grout has worked so well, and we can then get this all cleaned up, and we can actually put the toilet in, and it will be ready for the vanity to go in.
So after a bit of a clean to get rid of the haze from the grout, you could really see how the black hexagons popped with the white grout and how the pattern all came together.
So we're just putting on our first coat of top coat in our dressing room. We're actually going to be putting on 4 coats, and this will protect the floor. And it's interesting, it actually goes on kind of like a milky color, but then dries completely clear. So it gives it a nice finish, just like we've done on our platform with our tubs. So this is the first coat. We then have to wait a few hours, and then we'll do the second one, and then the third and fourth. And we'll then be able to walk back through the dressing room once everything's dried. The floorboards have come up so beautifully. It's kind of hard to believe that these are floorboards that are hundreds of years old and looked in really bad shape when we moved in. And now with some elbow grease and some cleaning up and the new stain and top coat, it just has brought the wood out beautifully. And all we now have to do is we're going to fill those cracks to keep all the dirt out and make it nice and neat. But I just love the colour, and I love how the wood has turned out. I am so excited about how this floor has turned out. I stained it probably last week, and it looked beautiful. But it's the top coat that really makes it. And we've now put on the 4 coats of top coat, and we chose a satin top coat. We wanted a little bit of shine, but we didn't want it to be glossy, and we don't want it to be slippery either. So I think it's the perfect combination because it just brings out the wood beautifully. So the dressing room floor is now all ready to go. We're going to be putting a beautiful rug in there as well. And so we're on to baseboards in here now, and to get those final finishing trim pieces in, so we can show you how it looks all completed. I'm just working on this window in our bedroom, and you can see it is not in great shape. In fact, we've had to use some tuck tape to keep the glass from falling out. And so I am just stripping all the edges and the paint, and you can see here where they've put in, or someone's put in, these big globs of sealer, because there's these huge holes in the window that obviously are letting the air in. So I'm going to be taking all this paint and sealer out, and then we're going to replace that piece of glass and get it sealed in nicely, and we're going to get rid of the tuck tape. I don't know whether you can see, but it is snowing outside. In fact, it's definitely a snow day, and I'm working on this window, and it's probably not the best time to not have a window in your bedroom. But we've actually taken this sash out, and we're working on repairing these windows because they are in really bad shape. So we're actually going to need to, we're actually ordering some new glass to reglaze these completely. And you can see I actually have a hole here at the moment. I actually managed to get this piece of glass out. It was very badly puttied in. Had huge holes, so I've taken that piece of glass out. These ones are still in at the moment, but a lot of them have cracks, so we're actually going to replace them all. So I'm working today on trying to get this window put back together so I can actually put the sash back in and actually seal this up, because all I've got at the moment is these storm windows, which actually work pretty well. But the problem with this storm window is it's got a massive crack at the top here, and we actually have tuck tape holding it together, which is not, A, they're not the best look, and B, is not that effective for keeping the cold out. So I am going to carry on working on getting these cleaned up and then getting them all painted and then reglazed, and we will then be able to get replace this outside window and get our windows back in so that it's not as cold in this room, because it's really cold right now.
It's magic, you can get your hand right through that window.
Yeah, who needs wind glass when it's quite handy to have a pane missing. It's the new technique of window cleaning.
With the window cleaned up, it was time to start painting.
It's amazing the difference paint makes to a room, and this week I've been working on painting the first coat of trim, and I have painted now the window and the casing around the window, and then the trim around the baseboard around the bottom of the room. And now with the baseboard, even with its first coat, because it's only had one coat at the moment, it's now, we're going to go around and do fill all the holes with silicone, and then we will be painting it a second time to give it that nice finish at the end. But it's amazing just how the room transforms when you have just that first coat of paint. The one thing I've learned about maritime weather is you never know what's going to happen. So 2 days ago we had the big snowstorm, snowed all day. The next day it's warm, it's above freezing, and we're just left with big mounds of snow. It's definitely something to get used to, but all I can say is thank goodness for our snow plow that plows our driveway, because it's a really big driveway, and I would not have wanted to try and plow and move all this snow because it was really heavy. So yeah, something to be very grateful for this week. I never thought I would get this excited about a toilet, and a toilet being put into a bathroom. We have just put in our toilet here in our ensuite. With the floor finally finished, we were able to put it in, and it's very exciting. We've been waiting a long time to get this bathroom functional, and so the toilet is the first step. We now have the shower in, the toilet in, the vanity is going to go in. Well, I'm going to work on that this week, so I'll show you on our next diaries how that's looking. But we also installed our toilet roll holder, which I posted online yesterday, and I had a few people comment about the toilet roll, because I had not noticed, but it had been put on under rather than over. So you will see behind me that I have fixed that. So for all those
those people who had commented, you're right, I did not spot that, so thank you for pointing that out. I have now fixed it to over rather than under, so we're all good. So I'm going to get back to working on the vanity so I can show you that hopefully next week. And I will see you on our next episode of the Ladysmith Manor Diaries.